I'm Kenneth Mills. Join Dr. Dale Manor, Dr. Frank Wheeler, and me as we travel to Lands of the Bible in 2024. We have 2 tours, one in April in which we go to Greece and follow the footsteps of Paul on his second missionary journey, and in June we travel to Israel for a trip of a lifetime. But let's first take a look at our Footsteps of Paul tour. We spend a couple of days in the fascinating city of Istanbul. It is a city which sits on 2 continents and was earlier named Constantinople when Roman Emperor Constantine made it his imperial capital. We head westward to Kavala, Greece, and pick up the trail of Paul's second missionary journey. At Philippi, we have a devotional on the banks of the river where Lydia was baptized, becoming the first convert on European soil. We tour the extensive archaeological ruins at Philippi and continue on and visit Thessaloniki and Berea. The museum at Philip of Macedon's tomb in Vergina is amazing. It was his son Alexander who spread the Greek culture and the Greek language, which enabled the gospel of Jesus Christ to be preached throughout the world. At Athens, we see marvelous temples, tour museums, and visit Mars Hill where Paul delivered a soul-stirring sermon. In Corinth, we walk down the street on which Paul probably entered the city and stand at the bema where he was taken for trial. As we conclude our Footsteps of Paul tour, we take a 3-day cruise on the beautiful blue Aegean Sea. Among our stops are Patmos, from which John wrote the Revelation, and Ephesus, where Paul spent quite a bit of time preaching the gospel. When we travel to Israel in June, we begin in the Jerusalem area for our Faith Steps in Israel tour. This area bookends the life of Jesus, with his birthplace being in Bethlehem, and his completing his ministry in Jerusalem with his death, burial, resurrection, and ascension. We see the Temple Mount where Abraham offered Isaac, where David built an altar to the Lord, where Solomon built the temple, and where priests offered sacrifices for the sins of the people. We'll walk through the tunnel Hezekiah built to provide water for the city of Jerusalem while it was under attack, tour the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, visit the Garden Tomb, and spend time in the Garden of Gethsemane. We visit Bethlehem, the birth city of Jesus, before departing this area. We'll go down to the Dead Sea and we'll spend a night there, and we'll stand atop Masada, have a devotional at En-Gedi, see where the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered, and view the ruins of Jericho. We then head to the Galilee region where Jesus spent most of his ministry. There is so much to see in this area. The discoveries at Magdala, the synagogue at Capernaum, the city from which Jesus based his ministry, the place at Dan where Jeroboam erected an altar so people wouldn't go back to Jerusalem to worship, and Caesarea Philippi, where Peter confessed Jesus as the Christ. We'll sail on the Sea of Galilee and have a short time for a devotional. We then head to Nazareth, Megiddo, and Caesarea Maritima. On both of these tours, we will leave with a bucket load of memories, tons of photos, new friends, and an increased faith. Join us on our tours in 2024.